Understanding persuasion and influence. Persuasion is one of the most powerful skills you can develop, and it begins with a simple understanding. Influence is not about forcing people to do what you want. True persuasion is about guiding people in a way that aligns with their desires while achieving your goals. Many people confuse persuasion with manipulation, but there is a fundamental difference. Manipulation disregards the other person's needs and often creates resentment. Persuasion, on the other hand, respects their perspective and leads to outcomes that feel natural and mutually beneficial. The key is understanding human behavior at a deep level. People rarely make decisions based purely on logic. Most decisions are emotional, and logic is simply used afterward to justify those choices. If you want to master persuasion, you must first learn to tap into emotion. The first step is awareness. Observe how people react to different situations, what motivates them, and what they fear. Listen carefully, not just to the words they say, but to the emotions behind those words. People communicate more than what is spoken. Tone of voice, body language, and subtle expressions often reveal their true feelings. When you understand these cues, you can tailor your approach to align with their perspective. Persuasion begins when you see the world through the other person's eyes. Connection is another essential component. People are far more likely to be influenced by someone they feel understands them. Before you try to convince someone of anything, focus on building rapport and establishing trust. A persuasive message delivered to someone who does not trust or respect you is ineffective. The more someone feels heard, valued, and understood, the more receptive they become. Empathy is not a weakness, it is a tool of influence. Another critical element is clarity. People are not persuaded by confusion or vagueness. If your message is unclear or complicated, even the most compelling argument will fail. Effective persuasion requires presenting your ideas in a way that is simple, understandable, and compelling. Your communication should highlight the benefits of your proposal, address concerns proactively, and appeal to emotions first, logic second. Finally, self-awareness plays a crucial role. Persuasion is about knowing yourself, your strengths, and your intentions. People can sense inauthenticity or desperation, which immediately weakens your influence. True influence comes from a place of confidence and authenticity. When you understand your motivations and communicate genuinely, people are more likely to listen, engage, and ultimately take action. In essence, persuasion begins long before you say a word. It starts with observing, understanding, and connecting. It requires emotional awareness, empathy, clarity, and authenticity. By mastering these foundations, you create the conditions where influence flows naturally. You don't need to force agreement because people feel understood, respected, and motivated to act. Real persuasion is subtle, powerful, and ethical, and it is a skill that, when mastered, gives you the ability to achieve your goals while building trust and respect. Building trust and rapport. One of the most essential foundations of persuasion is trust. Without trust, influence is nearly impossible. People are naturally skeptical of others' intentions, and unless they believe you have their best interests at heart, they will resist your attempts to persuade them. Building trust requires consistency, honesty, and empathy. It is not about performing or impressing someone, it is about demonstrating through words, actions, and presence that you are reliable, authentic, and understanding. When people trust you, they are far more willing to consider your ideas, follow your guidance, and ultimately act in ways that align with your goals. Rapport amplifies trust. Rapport is the sense of connection that makes people feel comfortable and understood. When you build rapport, people relax around you. They feel seen, heard, and valued. Establishing rapport is about more than just smiling or being polite. It is about showing genuine interest in the other person. Active listening, mirroring subtle body language, matching tone and energy, and validating feelings are all techniques that create natural rapport. When done authentically, these techniques make others feel that you truly understand them, which dramatically increases your persuasive power. Listening is the cornerstone of both trust and rapport. Most people spend more time talking than listening, and this creates a barrier to connection. To be persuasive, you must truly hear what someone is saying, as well as what they are not saying. Pay attention to their tone, pace, and body language. Ask questions that clarify rather than interrogate. Paraphrase their points to demonstrate understanding. When people feel genuinely listened to, they are far more likely to open up and consider your perspective. Empathy is another critical factor. Empathy is not about agreeing with everything someone thinks or feels. It is about understanding their emotions and motivations. When you can step into another person's shoes and see the world from their perspective, you can frame your ideas in a way that resonates deeply with them. This is where influence becomes natural. People are not persuaded by pressure, they are persuaded by connection. By showing that you understand and respect their point of view, you create an environment where they are receptive to your suggestions. Consistency and reliability also build trust over time. Trust is fragile and broken quickly if you fail to follow through on promises or act in ways that seem self-serving. Persuasive individuals understand the importance of maintaining integrity in all interactions. When people know they can count on you, your influence multiplies. Finally, confidence plays a subtle but important role. When your demeanor is calm, composed, and self-assured, it reinforces trust. People naturally gravitate toward those who demonstrate emotional stability and clear intentions. Confidence, combined with empathy, creates a compelling presence that draws people in and makes them receptive to your influence. In summary, persuasion is impossible without trust and rapport. These elements are built through listening, empathy, consistency, and authenticity. The stronger the connection you establish, the easier it becomes to influence decisions. Trust and rapport are not shortcuts. They are the foundation upon which all successful persuasion is built. Once mastered, they make your communication smoother, your relationships stronger, and your ability to get people to act far more powerful. Mastering the language of influence. Words are the most powerful tool in persuasion. The way you communicate can either inspire action or create resistance. Mastering the language of influence is about more than choosing the right words. It's about structuring your message in a way that resonates emotionally, logically, and personally with the person you are speaking to. People are not persuaded by pressure or commands. They are persuaded when they feel understood, respected, and confident that taking action benefits them. Learning to use language strategically allows you to guide decisions without creating conflict or resentment. One of the first principles of persuasive language is framing. How you present an idea often matters more than the idea itself. Instead of demanding, criticizing, or instructing, frame your suggestions in terms of benefits, opportunities, and positive outcomes. People naturally respond to what they gain rather than what they avoid. For example, instead of saying, "You need to do this task," you might say, "If you do this, it will make your work easier and save time." Framing communicates value while appealing to motivation and emotion. Stories and analogies are powerful tools for persuasion. Humans are wired to respond to narratives. A well-told story connects on an emotional level and makes abstract ideas tangible. It can help someone visualize the benefits of your proposal, understand consequences, or relate to experiences they have faced themselves. Using stories allows your message to stick and makes it easier for others to agree with you without feeling pressured. Questions are another essential tool in persuasive communication. Instead of telling people what to do, ask questions that guide them toward conclusions. When someone arrives at an answer themselves, they are far more likely to commit to it. Questions like, "How would this solution help you achieve your goals?" Or "What do you think would happen if we approached it this way?" encourage reflection and naturally align them with your perspective. This approach shifts influence from being directive to being collaborative. Tone, pacing, and body language are just as important as the words you use. A calm, confident, and steady tone signals authority and trustworthiness. Pacing your words and using pauses strategically allows your audience to absorb your ideas and respond thoughtfully. Nonverbal cues like eye contact, posture, and gestures reinforce your message and convey confidence. People are persuaded by someone who appears grounded and sincere, not rushed or desperate. Clarity is also essential. Complexity or vagueness creates resistance. People are far more receptive when your ideas are presented clearly and logically. Break down your message into digestible steps, highlight the key benefits, and address concerns before they become objections. The simpler your communication, the stronger your influence. Finally, authenticity strengthens the power of your language. People can detect insincerity immediately. Influence works best when your words match your intentions and your delivery aligns with your beliefs. Speak from a place of confidence, empathy, and integrity, and your persuasion will feel natural rather than forced. Mastering the language of influence is not about memorizing scripts or using tricks. It is about understanding how humans think, feel, and decide, and structuring your communication to resonate on those levels. When done correctly, words become tools to guide, connect, and inspire action, making it easier than ever to achieve your goals while creating positive outcomes for others. Applying persuasion ethically and effectively, true persuasion is not about manipulation or coercion. It is about guiding people toward choices that benefit both them and you. Ethical persuasion is powerful because it builds lasting trust, strengthens relationships, and creates influence that continues to grow over time. If you attempt to pressure, deceive, or trick someone, you might get short-term compliance, but long-term credibility and respect are destroyed. Mastering persuasion means learning to achieve your goals while maintaining integrity and fostering mutual respect. The key is aligning your request with the other person's needs, desires, and values. When people see that your proposal supports their interests, they are far more likely to respond positively. Application begins with preparation. Understand your audience, their motivations, and the context in which you are communicating. What does the other person truly value? What problems are they trying to solve? What fears or doubts might be influencing their decisions? The more insight you have, the more effectively you can tailor your approach. Persuasion is not one size fits all. It is adaptive and responsive. Every person, situation, and decision is unique, and mastering persuasion requires the ability to adjust your methods accordingly. Timing is another critical factor. Even the most compelling argument can fail if it is presented at the wrong moment. Observe cues, both verbal and nonverbal, to identify when someone is most receptive. Pay attention to mood, energy, and engagement. A person who is distracted, stressed, or defensive will be less responsive than someone who feels comfortable, understood, and in control. Effective persuasion respects timing and situational awareness, ensuring your message is delivered when it has the highest impact. Consistency is essential. Your credibility is built through repeated actions that match your words. Follow through on promises, demonstrate reliability, and communicate with transparency. People are more likely to be influenced by someone who consistently demonstrates integrity, because trust is the foundation of all influence. Once credibility is established, persuasion becomes significantly easier because people know you act in ways that are predictable, fair, and reliable. Practical application also includes creating win-win outcomes. Think of persuasion as problem-solving rather than convincing. Frame your requests in terms of mutual benefit. Highlight solutions, improvements, and opportunities rather than imposing demands. When people feel that your proposals enhance their situation, they are more likely to engage positively and commit to action. Persuasion is most effective when it is collaborative, not adversarial. Observation and reflection strengthen your skills over time. Notice what strategies work and what doesn't. Analyze responses to refine your approach. The most persuasive people are not perfect. They are constantly learning, adapting, and improving their methods. Practice builds confidence, intuition, and the ability to read situations in real time. Finally, Ethical persuasion relies on authenticity. Speak from a place of integrity and belief in what you propose. People naturally sense sincerity, and genuine communication inspires trust and cooperation. Influence flows effortlessly when others feel that your intentions are honest, your insights are thoughtful, and your guidance is beneficial. When you combine preparation, empathy, timing, consistency, and authenticity, persuasion becomes a powerful tool for achieving goals while strengthening relationships. Mastering ethical influence allows you to get what you want from anyone in a way that leaves everyone feeling respected, understood, and motivated. Persuasion is not about control. It is about guiding, connecting, and creating outcomes that benefit both sides.